and the title of his speech is Hey Blondie. Michael, would you please go ahead and take it away for us?
Hey, Blondie, can you come out and play? Who's Blondie? Blondie is this lady here. And as you notice, she doesn't have any blonde hair. It's also my mother. And my mother in her 70s would write a story about how she got the name Blondie. And it's the Kelly Kids. I'm going to read it to you. The Kelly Kids by Marta Dangerfield. Canyon City is nestled in the beautiful foothills of the Colorado Rockies and lays claim to fame by having the state prison located there. The Royal Gorge, which has the highest suspension bridge in the world that towers 1,053 feet above the Arkansas River, is also a famous tourist attraction in the area. This is where I was born and lived for 12 years of my life. It's my understanding that these years are the most formative years in a young person's life. I've often wondered what I'm going to tell you is the most wonderful or worst thing that ever happened to me, but the die was cast. December 7th, 1941 started out just like any other Sunday. I can remember at the grand old age of 9, my girlfriend Norma and I went to the afternoon movies. Before the movie started, the manager came out on stage. He talked about a place by the name of Pearl Harbor. It seems that this place had been bombed, and he mentioned the Japanese and Hitler. I asked my friend Norma, who is Hitler? And she said, I don't know, but I wish the cartoons would start. After leaving the theater, we went to Helm's Drugstore and had our favorite chocolate sundae. Then I walked home to the most fascinating sight. Next door to where I lived, there were people moving into the vacant house. I might add, a lot of people. Mr. and Mrs. Kelly had 11 sons and 1 daughter named Bernadine. I don't suppose in itself that would shock most people, but I was an only child and simply didn't realize people had this many kids. They were like a basketball full of ants going at a picnic, going in all directions, all redheaded, covered with freckles. And as my mother says, their faces were the map of Ireland written all over them. Very soon, our new neighbors were doing things I had never dreamed of. They never wore shoes, summer or winter. Only they wore them when they were shopping with their mother, going to church or school. I watched with envy as they walked down gravel roads or across goat heads, very sharp stones, and their bare feet. Good heavens, those goat heads alone would make your bicycle tires flat when you ran over them. Why did it hurt their feet? I, who had never gone barefoot in my life and couldn't wait to try, simply did not understand how this could happen. The Kelly kids were fearless, and I admired, envied, and did my level best for the next 3 years to do everything they did, which ultimately almost led to my demise, or the very least, spending the rest of my life sequestered in our prison. I became one of those dreaded neighborhood kids that ran with that pack of wild Irish brats. Now, everyone in the Kelly family had a nickname, and since I was their new best friend, I got one too, Blondie. And that nickname meant more to me than you could possibly imagine. My hair was as black as coal, and when the sun shone on it, there was a blue cloud around my head. Consequently, I never got to play an angel in the school play like all my other little girlfriends. I'm telling you, little readers, I had finally arrived. Yay! Hey, Blondie, do you want to come out and play? We found an old umbrella and we decided to jump off the Colorado Hotel. We think it's high enough for us to float down. We can be just like Superman. Donald, who was Bernadine's older brother by 1 year, was always thinking up these really cool things to do. But even I, who went along with everything, was a little bit dubious about jumping off a 3-story hotel. How are we going to get up there? I asked, really hoping he didn't have an answer. Oh, we got lookouts, said our fearless leader. Ian and Sean are watching Eddie, the manager, to let us know when he goes to lunch. Shouldn't be any trouble at all. With Donald, there was never any trouble at all. 3 floors later, we were on the roof in a heated debate about who was going to go first. Since Bernadine and I were the youngest, it was decided by all the powers that would be, namely her older brothers, that we should be the honored ones to try this out first. Fortunately for us, my mother came home before all this could take place. Hearing us up on the roof of that old hotel, my presence was demanded on the ground immediately. The Kelly kids were told to go home, leaving no room for argument. She took our umbrella and its magical powers and gave it an ugly whack and broke it. And thank God we never managed to replace it with another one. Mom would write many more fascinating tales and stories of her time with the Kelly kids. And then she would finish up the tale with this, and you can see her because she wouldn't live long after she wrote this. And I could, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing her at her writing desk. 60 years have passed since then. When I'm in a reflective mood and my head gets flooded with memories, I feel a small tugging at my lips. And a smile begins to dance across my face. And I can hear as plain as day. Hey, Blondie, can you come out to play? Madam's Toastmaster.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.